Just hold the camera for a minute, Eddie, I said. Now don't do anything silly, I said. Oh, Eddie, you're so silly. Anyway, welcome back to Shrivenham, and we've teased you for far too long. It's time to take a look at the Challenger 2. I hope you'll agree, it's been worth the wait. Here it is.
Plus I can tell you if it's looking alright.
Yeah. Right then. I realise I look a complete Burke with this helmet on, but it's the GoPro, so you know, I'm doing it for art. Hello, chaps.
Hello, boy.
How are you finding the old Challenger 2?
I say, come on board, she's spiffing.
It's almost finished boiling.
Right.
Easiest for you to get in that side, mate.
This is the commander's position then.
Yep.
Alright, let's get in there.
Got a torch?
Not just yet. Oh, great, now my foot's cramping.
Alright.
There we go. Torch, please. Thank you.
If I give you my camera, can you hold that for a sec? Just because if I get in, I don't want it to fall out of one of my pockets.
Totally mine still have it.
Oh, wow. How's this looking, Eddie?
Sexual.
Sweet.
Oh, Mr. Jones, welcome to Challenger 2. See it when we're spacious, comparatively.
It is. Look at this, you can stretch your arms out in here and everything. You could swing a cat in here if you had to.
Cat, what, 2 foot?
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, you'd break when you hit this bit, but yeah, you could swing most of a cat.
So obviously it's pretty dark in here. We haven't switched any electrics on or the lights or what have you. I'm sitting in the commander's position. The gunner's position is here in front of me.
Yep.
So we got the loader. Is there a seat there for you?
Yeah, loaded seat. Yeah, there's a seat folds down behind me here.
Sweet.
My ammunition is kept just here
Yeah.
in safe stowage tanks, which is obviously the same as you see in Centurion and
Chieftain.
And obviously you get an idea of how thick the armour is. There's your spool lining, this material here.
I don't know if I can actually see that. I can't get my head down
This
far
white
enough.
padding that we see all over the place.
Well, we have an example of some spall lining outside as well with the
Yeah.
various different armour penetrated to space. We'll have a look at that in a minute. Now, bear in mind there's no gun sight in this thing.
No.
Although,
so
what is that?
that there, not a clue.
Okay.
Again, I've not been inside a Challenger 2 before.
Well, I don't think,
many have.
other than people in the Royal Tank Regiment, I don't think anybody's been inside a Challenger 2 before. So, weather first.
But here you have the enormous 120mm gun.
Fantastic gun.
Incredibly powerful weapon. This is capable of destroying any tank in the world with one hit at ranges including 2 miles without any difficulty whatsoever.
Now, one thing that surprises me is that we can't see the driver from here.
No, there is actually a way of getting to the driver. Underneath there.
Screw that.
Exactly. It's really just for emergencies should you not be able to access him from the front. You can get to the driver.
I see there's already ammo stowage down there as well.
Yeah, there's obviously spaces at the back here as well for ammunition.
What I want to know is where's the kettle? How do they make the tea? Where's the boiling vessel?
It'll be here somewhere, guaranteed.
Roughly below where I am.
So it's got to be back here somewhere. Can you try and get my head down?
No man wants to be in the tank without a boiling vessel.
Exactly. How do they make the tea? Oh no. Although, didn't they have a refrigeration system for keeping certain types of ammunition? Or am I thinking of the Chieftain?
I don't know on that.
Do we have an expert by the name of Mr. David Lister who might be able to tell us about that? Because I've heard stories about Chieftain crews and operations in Salisbury Plain not having the right ammunition available because they were keeping all the beer in the refrigerated ammo stowage.
I haven't heard anything like that. I've heard stories about smoke discharges being replaced by beer to go to sandy places.
Okay.
Because none of the customs people ever checked inside the smoke discharges.
No, of course. Right, okay, well that would work. Doubtless anybody watching this video who served in British tanks will be able to confirm or deny the truth of that scurrilous rumour I've just put out about British tank crews. So, yeah, surprisingly spacious inside this place. Bear in mind this was a prototype, so a lot of the stuff that you're seeing in here isn't going to be on production versions of the Challenger 2, and that's why we're actually allowed inside this thing. Main differences in this version of the Challenger 2 prototype were we've been told the gun sight's missing, which presumably, I mean, the gunner sits here. Oh wow, check the control system he's got there. You can controls for adding a drop, illumination systems, laser targets. So there's a laser rangefinder there apparently. But the actual sights themselves apparently are not actually in here. And also the armour is just soft steel because it's a prototype.
It
So
is to the same measurement and thickness that the Chauvin would have been for
That's
obviously weight and balance and
Yeah.
effectiveness. Again, as we're saying, the spool liner you can see is this white cladding that your torch is now picking up in places here. That's why my hand's soft.
yeah. Yeah, you can hear it.
And you can see the markers are like HESH rounds, smoke rounds.
This is one of the differences between British and other NATO countries. The loader selects the ammo type on that side for fire control.
Yeah, we can see the fire control system down there. Wow.
And there's your obviously your overpressure system in the event of an NBC attack.
Yeah.
Something else.
I'll tell you what is surprising is I don't know if Eddie, is the camera picking this up? These viewports.
Just. You need to lift your head slightly.
How about now?
Yeah, much better.
Okay, yeah.
Just a torch and I'll shine it in from the outside.
There we go. The amount of visibility here is actually pretty damn impressive. The amount of visibility available to the commander is a lot better than I would have expected, I have to say.
Right, you can't see it now. You just.
How about now?
Yeah, that's it. There.
Yeah.
You've also got your own independent gunnery system there.
You have?
Commander.
Oh, here.
Yeah. What happens is the commander will find a target,
Yep.
set the gunner to it.
Yep.
The gunner will start engaging it. That leaves the commander's system to search for another target.
For another target.
He then sets it up there, and as soon as the gunner's finished dealing with his target, presses a button, switches to the gunner's or commander's control.
Well, obviously. I mean, yeah, of course he does. God, I know nothing. Right. You know, I'm going to pop out, climb into the driver's position and see what that's like.
Not to press the button.
Yeah. We've been warned not to press any red buttons because apparently a lot of these machines actually work.
This is a fully working one, and she's connected and ready to run. If you
We've
start
also
up.
got the ammo storage blower panels if you're interested.
Oh, back here.
Yeah, that's these things.
Go on then. How does this work?
Basically, there's an armoured bulkhead down the middle. If its ammo rack's in the back, half the rear turret will just blow up over here because the doors will stop the blast going into the turret.
So basically what you've got here is, for anybody who plays Mech Warrior Online, right, the old Battle Mech game, you've got a cellular ammunition stowage equipment
Pretty much.
from Battle Mech built into the back of a Challenger 2.
One advantage over, say, the American or German versions, at least the American version I know of, is the American version of the entire turret drops off the back.
Okay, that's not good.
In the British version, only half your turret drops
Okay,
off.
only the bit that actually contains the ammunition. Right, anyway, so driver's compartment. Let's have a look at this. Man, look at that gun! I feel like a complete Burke with this helmet on. Everybody's walking past going, who's that lunatic? Right. Bit of a tight fit because... Oh, my shirt's gone cool. There we go. Right. Right, what you're actually doing is, what you're actually seeing here is the view between my knees. This is a really, really cramped driver's compartment. It's very, very surprising. You got the various different pedals here, here, and here for driving the vehicle. There's the... I do apologise for the quality of this camera work, but it's so cramped in here. I presume that's the gear lever? Haven't got a clue. There's just all sorts of stuff in here. There we go. Oh yeah, of course. So you got the handbrake. You've got... trying to get the torch on it. Hold on. There we go. Control the tracks on the left side there. Control the tracks on the right side there. Driver's instrument panel here. Haven't got a clue what any of this stuff does. Oh, an indication panel here, basically to let the guy drive, because if you look up, you're right underneath the gun. So this is basically just let the driver know when the hatch is down, the position of the gun, because because the gun's right there, and the driver needs to know where the gun is if he's going to open the hatch, even indeed he can open the hatch. What worries me is that I'm sitting here, my knees are practically, I mean, I'm only 5'11" tall. Oh, you can't see a thing there. There we go. Let's get the view out. I'm only 5'11" tall, and my knees are practically up by my ears inside this thing. And I just don't see how it would be possible for me to get any further down inside this machine and shut the hatch, which is up there. So, yeah. Don't be tall if you want to drive tanks in the British Army. I've just been informed by the fantastic Major Moat here that I'm doing it wrong. This backrest of the seat that I'm sitting in is not actually a backrest. This is just here for when the driver is sitting in this road driving position. Yeah. In order to actually drive the tank, the driver basically reclines. So I'm going to have a go at that, and hopefully with a torch we'll see what it looks like. So
good luck.
Here we go. Good luck. First I've got to figure out how to get my back down and around behind this seat rest.
The pad that you're resting against does move, but it's a bit tricky.
It's very tricky. Okay, so camera off for the moment. I'll get myself into the relevant position. This could take a while. Right, okay. This is in the reclining position. You can see there's the hatch there, and it is actually very, very comfortable. And apparently apparently this is the best place to sleep in the tank. You can see the turret ring up here. If I can, there we go. I'm actually sitting directly underneath the main gun, which is up there. Your recoil mechanism for the gun there, and there's the turret ring itself. So this is actually where the driver would sit if the vehicle was fighting. And you can see, interesting thing about the I don't know what you call them, the handles that you use to steer the tank, the steering levers, I don't know, is that when you pull one, for example, I don't know if you can see it here, and you almost certainly can't see it here because it's incredibly dark, but I'll have a go, is that when you pull that one moves the other way. So it's impossible to turn one track without turning the other one, unless there's some sort of gear or switch you press in order to do it, but hey, I'm not a tank driver, I wouldn't know. So there you go, the reclined position. And it's still got full access to all the controls. We've got batteries down there, either side. The reclining driver's position inside the Challenger 2. Now I just have to figure out how to get out. I have been reliably informed by the Venerable Mr. Dave Lister that the reason why, watch, if I pull back on this lever, that one over there, if we can get the light on that one, there it is. You see that one moves in the opposite direction to this one, and the reason for that, I realise it looks like my knees are actually talking to you at this stage. I'm still inside the driver's compartment of the Challenger 2. The reason for that is because you may have seen footage of Tigers in the Second World War, particularly in the propaganda footage, where they would show the Tigers rotating the tracks on one side of the tank in order to, in combination with the turret reverse, bring the gun around faster to bear on a target. Well, that was fine and it worked, but the danger was that you would throw the tracks. If you do this, the way this works is basically you're going one way on one track in the Challenger 2, you'll automatically go the other way on the other track, which means you can actually do that and swivel on the spot in this tank without any danger of throwing the tracks off. So that's the reason why when you pull on one of the drive levers, the other one goes in the opposite direction. So thanks to Dave for that one.
Okay, so what we want to do is, you're going to be flying a Tornado GR4. So the first thing we want to do is we make sure all the brakes are on, so hand off that and put the throttle to maximum, so just push it all the way, and we'll go up here and we'll wait for the afterburner to come on. Now, because someone's been playing around with it, yeah, the afterburners are on and we're at maximum thrust. So we now take the brake off and we start running down the runway. We want to get to about 140 knots before we take off. Don't worry about it, just look at the screen, and just before you hit the water you want to pull back on the stick. Gotcha. Rather than worry about, you're 170, you're fine. So pull back, that's it, up a bit more. Okay, so what you want to do now is ease back on the throttle until the burners go off. If you keep the burners on, you'll go transonic. That will change the airflow over the control surfaces and it'll be far less easy. Yeah. Nose down a bit so you can see the terrain. Quite a bit more because we want to see the terrain. The terrain that we're using is free and provided by IKEA. As one of the funders. So if you look down at the towns, you'll see a large number of IKEAs taking place. We've turned the draw distance so that you can see the trees popping up. The trees are on the terrain procedurally, so as we fly towards them, they will appear.
What sort of range do they appear at?
I don't know which one it's set at, and we do vary it for the experiments, but the idea of that is so that we can show how we can have a terrain database that's a very small size, but you can still fly in it. Now, this is all made out of COTS components, so we have a separate PC behind each screen.
Just for people who don't understand military jargon, that's off the shelf. Okay.
Commercial off-the-shelf components. And these are TVs that were bought on special offer from Sainsbury's.
Okay.
Because we've got a separate PC behind each screen, your point of view is optimised for the screen. So there's no distortion even at the edges. And this black bit physically exists. So you see things vanishing behind it.
Right.
Your brain is used to that. You drive the car, you've got a pillar. Now the other system we've got, although over there is much more modern, but it uses a triple head. A triple head says I've got one big screen. So this bit doesn't exist. So the trees, as they pop behind it, pop up immediately. And that's much more tiring on your brain. So although this is running, and this is running on 5-year-old technology, it's much less difficult, less stressful to fly.
It does feel very...
Yep. The software is X-Plane. You can download it on your iPad for a couple of quid. And there are different versions of that, and that software is actually used in real flight simulators. So this was an experiment that BAE Systems did, as to get the best we could.
Just off the shelf?
Off the shelf completely. So most expensive thing is the thing you're sitting in.
The chair?
The chair. It came off a JCB.
Wow. I have a friend who's got a commercial pilot's license, but he's ex-army. He never flew for the army, he did it as a hobby. And he's built himself a system like this, and he actually has, I can't remember the name of the company that makes the ejector seat. Martin Baker, He actually has a Martin Baker ejector seat, which he has built a system just like this around.
Sure.
It's fantastic.
I had to go and dispose of the remains of an Argentine dagger in the Falklands. Very interesting because the dagger was shot down by Harrier. It hit the ground. So I was there to dispose of the guns, which still had ammunition, so we had to go and blow them up. Nice day out in the sun. Yeah, beautiful sunshine. You're going transonic, so you need to throttle back.
Pilot into the ground.
So the pilot survived because he had a British Martin Baker ejector seat. The plane itself is French, manufactured under license in Israel, flown by the Argentines. So the little panels were in Hebrew, they were in Spanish, they were in English, they were in French.
Second language.
The guns were in Hebrew, and they took quite a lot of blowing up. They were really solid. But yeah, I sent photographs to the pilot in Argentina.
Oh, you've tracked down the pilot?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Premier Tiente Hector Ludo, and yeah, he survived.
That's the old Martin Baker ejector seat.
Yep, and
Fantastic piece of kit.
earned his tie.
There is one other section here at Shrivenham that most people don't get to see. This is not actually an armoury, this is a teaching environment. All of these weapons work, and they have ammunition for most of these weapons. They have a lot of weapons in this place. See how many of these things you recognise. And I'm just going to take the camera and point it to every different display here in the light weapons wing. So I didn't even realise there were that many different variations of the AK. SKS rifles, Mosin Nagant variants. Moving over. Some of these are just prototypes. There's a Chinese anti-tank rifle in here that you need to see. It's ridiculous. Brand new automatic rifles. M1s, M1 carbines.
You want to be, let's have a 40mm grenade.
Just look at this. They have, count them, 2 FG42s.
If you're playing
And they have ammo for it.
Counter-Strike, of course, the favourite weapon of choice.
You see that thing there with that drum magazine? First World War design. Automatic rifle. I'm starting to get some of the slightly older versions of various different weapons here. More prototypes. Very, very early versions of FN's foul rifle, the SLR. This one, right here, this is the model I trained on when I joined the Navy. The plastic furniture, the solid stock. The SLR, self-loading rifle, as it was known. And then we have some rather large machine guns. Primarily, do you know what? I don't even know what half of these things are. Look at this. Look at this for a bizarre design. At first I thought this was a Lewis gun.
You can't take them off and photograph them.
Oh. I was just going to say, at first I thought this was a Lewis gun until I realised that the magazine was...
This is completely crap.
I'll bet it is. Doesn't look very reliable at all.
Well, actually, the French had all the right bits, but on different guns. We do have a working Lewis gun.
Oh right, is it in?
We still
It's in
fire
here
it.
somewhere then.
Yeah. We still fire Lewis gun.
At first I looked at these and I thought they were MG32s, and I thought, well, hold on, what the hell's going on here? MG18s.
MG18, MG17. Later on became the back one in the Stuka.
Ah, right, I got you. Okay. Ah, here it is. Look at the size of this monster here. This is a Chinese anti-tank rifle. Look at that. It's huge.
Haven't got one.
What do we got here? Oh, M249s, amongst other things. Various different versions of the Minimi.
No.
And
The boys has been taken by the pattern room, the sods, because we had a
just so many things. Various different sniper rifles. Various different Parker Hales, Barretts. Just, ugh. I've broken one of these. I talked about it in one of my mingles with Jingles. Lifetime ambition to fire on one of those things.
The only one that still has prizes a rifle.
Finally got my hands on one in Sierra Leone. Gurkhas took us out into the a shooting range they'd cleared in the jungle and let us play with a whole bunch of different weapons. Finally got my hands on one of those L96 A1s. And of course, the second I put a round in the breech and worked the bolt, it got jammed, and I jammed it in there so solid. It took an armourer to get the thing out. So yeah, everything I touch turns to shit. Check this out. This is a walking stick pistol. I don't want to mess around with it because it's literally it's a gentleman's cane with a pistol in the end. Who designs things like this? I mean, seriously. There's another room for... Oh, I've got one of those. Is that a Type 93 carbine?
The M2s. I've mentioned them, but well, there they are. Two of them.
They have more than a couple of pistols in here as well. I just want to draw your attention to one in particular that's an utter monstrosity. Why would you do that to a perfectly good Python? I mean, just...
It's a perfectly good pistol. I'm not a great supporter of pistols. I can see this speaking argument.
Oh. That's
my
horrible.
grandfather, when he died, he had a big safe
just-
in his office.
this
It
out.
had a Webley in it, which he brought back from World War I, and it's like, I
just came in from the police, this one. What's the firearm crime in London?
Lewis gun.
And the court said to cut it up. Now you don't cut it, something like that. Now it's right from about 1880.
The police army's down in Hamble, they've got their own army there, and they keep things on certain souvenirs on walls and things, bits they find. They've got a brown vest down there.
And that brings our little visit to the Defence Capability Centre at Shrivenham to a close. Thanks once again to Major Moat for making it all possible, Ed Francis for organising everything, Dave Lister for the wealth of knowledge and information he provided when we were there. The good news is I did find the gun that I wanted to marry. The bad news is they wouldn't let me keep it. Hope you enjoyed the video, folks. Catch you next time.